Hey everyone, it's Jasmine. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my flows are all about accessibility and meeting you where you are on the mat. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. So, today's flow, we're going to create strength in our legs as well as creating space in our hips and side body today. So, poses such as Warrior 2, Reverse Warrior, High Lunge, and Low Lunge will all be included in today's practice. If you haven't grabbed your blocks, feel free to grab them. We will utilize them in today's practice. And then let's get started. So we're actually going to begin in mountain pose in the center of our mat here today. So soft knees in this pose. And then also our feet are going to be hip width apart. So standing very similar to how I'm standing. And we're actually just going to do some shoulder rolls. So taking your shoulders high towards your ears here and then bringing them back as we create a circular motion. And we're just building some heat today. And on your last pose, let's go the opposite direction here. I don't know, I always feel like I'm bugging up at somebody when I do this one here. And on your last one, find just a resting spot for your arms next to your side body here. And feel free to close your eyes if you like to as we set an intention for today's practice. Placing one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest here. And we're just going to connect with our bodies. I'm actually going to thank my body for getting on the mat today and just moving. So feel free to set your intention for today's practice and breathe into your body. Take your biggest breath of today's practice thus far and let it out through your mouth. Shoulders relaxing and letting gravity take place. Maybe melting your forehead, releasing some tension in your jaw, and just really soak up this moment here. Feel free to begin to open your eyes if they have been closed. And let's move a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to begin our warm up today, and there will be just very quick poses here. We're going to do a side stretch and some neck stretch to get us started. Again, we are creating space in our side body today throughout today's practice. So let's warm up a little bit. So we're still here in our mountain pose, and we're going to inhale, lifting our hands up here. So you can look up as well. So looking up towards your ceiling or the sky, wherever you are doing your practice today. And imagine if you're holding a beach ball. So we want to create some space in your shoulders here with this pose. And feel free to look up or you can look straight ahead, whatever feels best for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand and then bring it towards our thigh here and stretch over to the left side of our body. So again, we're creating some space here and the left side of our body in today's practice. And feel free to look up if you like, or again, just looking centered, whatever feels best for you. Now let's repeat on the opposite side, bringing both hands up, dropping your left hand to the left side of your body, and then reaching over to the right side or to the left side and creating space in the right side of your body. And now we're going to return back with our hands lifted up here. And we're just going to look up towards the ceiling, the sky, the gym, wherever you are. And we're just going to reach for the sky here. So stretching your arms out here and then returning our hands to the side of our bodies. So let's do a neck stretch here. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our right hand and then touch the left side of our head here. And we're going to bring our right ear to our right shoulder here. But what I like for you to do with your left hand is to reach down. So as you're stretching to the right side of your body, you're going to lengthen your left arm here. So a nice pull on both sides and stop where it feels comfortable for you. And this next stretch here with an arm extension. And repeat on the opposite side. And then taking your right arm, reaching down as you bring your left ear to your left shoulder here. So again, we're just creating space in our bodies here. And we're going to stop when it feels good for us. So always tap into your body. Returning to the center of our mat here, and let's get started with our flow. So I'm going to actually just take our blocks and move them over. We're going to grab them a little bit later today, or probably soon enough. But we're going to start at the top of our mat here. Again, our feet hip width apart, and we're going to have a nice bend in our knees here. Hands to the side in Tadasana or mountain pose. And we're going to inhale, lifting our hands up. Exhale, rain it down to forward fold. And so everyone's forward fold may look a little different. So you may have your blocks here and you're reaching towards your blocks. You can also grab each elbow here and maybe just sway in your forward fold. And we have a nice bend in our forward fold today. Or you can also just reach towards the ground, your shins, wherever your forward fold lands today. Inhale, halfway lift. And in your halfway lift, you're bringing your shoulders away from your ears. So bringing your shoulders down here, a nice flat back position. And exhale, forward fold. And now step your left leg back here. And we are going into a low lunge. So you can rest your right hand here for an option or bring them both up. And we're actually going to push our hips forward in this low lunge position. Placing our hands down here. We're going to bring up our back leg and then step into a forward fold. Inhale, pressing into all four corners, root to rise, bringing our hands down to a mountain pose and repeating that flow on the opposite side. Inhale, sweeping your arms up. Exhale, forward fold your way. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping your opposite leg back into a low lunge. Placing your hands on the ground, framing your front foot, and stepping back into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Pressing into all four corners, root to rise, back down to mountain pose. Now, that was block one. Let's start on block two, where we will be adding two more poses to this block. Inhale, sweeping your hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now step back into a downward dog here. Your feet may not be flat, however, the focus will be on your arms here, ensuring that you're pushing away from the earth. So your heels may be lifted off the ground, they may be on the ground, but you can also have a nice bend in your knee here in your downward dog. Inhale, sweeping your left leg up. And we're going to bend our knee here and create some space in our hips. Straighten up that back leg and then step into a high lunge. Maybe using your front knee and then bringing both arms up here in your high lunge. Back heels off the ground. And now we're going to frame, bringing our arms down and frame our front foot and step our back leg up for a pyramid pose. And in this pyramid pose, you can have both knees can be a little bent here or working towards straight. You can also use your blocks to bring the earth a little bit closer to you as well in your pyramid pose. And we're breathing into this pose here. I'm going to move my blocks. And what we're going to do in this pyramid pose is we're going to step our leg back, our back leg back, and then bend them both. And we're back into our low lunge, pushing our hips forward here. Framing our front leg here. You're going to open up to your left side of your body here. Your back knee could be on the ground or lifted, whatever feels best for you. Frame your front foot here and then step into a forward fold. Pushing into all four corners, root to rise, mountain pose. Inhale, sweeping your hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping back, downward dog. Lifting your right leg. Bending that right knee here. Creating some space in your hips. And then step into your high lunge. Framing your front foot, stepping that back leg towards you for a pyramid pose. Knees could be bent or working towards straight. Stepping your back leg back just a little and bending them both, lowering your back knee for low lunge. Frame your front foot, and you have the option of lifting your back knee for your open twist to the right. Step into your forward fold. Pressing into all four corners, root to rise. Great job. So that was our second block. Our last block, we're going to add 2 more poses to this flow, and then we're going to end the practice today. Inhale, sweeping your hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now with your left leg, we're going to step back and pivot our back leg and open up to warrior 2. Checking your alignment here on your mat and bending in the front knee here, gazing at your middle finger. Flip your palm, reverse your warrior. Now with your back arm here, we're gonna bring it forward and pivot that back leg, stepping into our high lunge here. Framing our front foot, stepping that back leg to the center of our bodies here or closer to you for your pyramid pose. Knees can be bent or straight as possible or working towards straight. Stepping your back leg, bending both of your knees here, and then lowering your back knee for a low lunge. framing your front foot. Back knee could be up or down, and then opening up to your right here. Stepping into your forward fold. Pressing into all four corners, root to rise, mountain pose. Inhale, sweeping your hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping your right leg back, pivoting, and then open up to your warrior two. Reverse your, flip your palm and reverse your warrior. Bringing your back arm around and up to your high lunge. Bringing your hands to frame your foot and stepping your back leg up for that pyramid pose. And we're breathing, stepping your back leg back just a little, and then bending both knees here, lowering your back knee to a lunge. Framing your front foot here, lifting up your back leg if you like, or keeping it on the ground, and then open up to your left here for an open twist. Framing your front foot, let's step back into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Hands together at the top. Exhale, lowering your hands to your heart. And breathing into your body here. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, lowering your hands to your side body. That was great. Like, girl, that felt wonderful. That was a really great practice for us to really build strength in our lower body while creating space in our hips and side body. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to come down to a tabletop position here for our cool down before we jump into Shavasana. So in our tabletop position, we're just going to check our alignment here. So hips over our knees, shoulders over the wrists here. And we're actually going to do some hip circles. So imagine that you have a marker and your belly button and you're trying to draw circles. Those circles could be as big or as small here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this imaginary marker and we're going to bring it around town, just like SpongeBob. So imagine that you're drawing these circles here with this imaginary marker in your belly button, just creating some mobility in your hips. And on that last circle, pause in the center, and then we're going to head into the opposite direction. What we do on one side, we want to make sure we do on the opposite here. Feels great. And draw one more circle for me, and then return back to your neutral spine in tabletop position. Let's move into a child's pose here. So we're gonna widen our knees and hips, bring our big two toes together, and then we're going to sit back into this child pose here. Feel free to use your block if you like. You can rest your forehead on your block here, or you can also use your hands as well if you want to lay your hands on top of each other And then this could be your child's pose or whatever child pose you prefer. Returning to a neutral spine here, we're going to swing our legs to the right or left side and meet me in a pose here as I'm trying to get the blocks off the mat here. We're going to be in an easy seated pose with our legs out in front of us, and we're actually going to move into Shavasana. So feel free to find your way to Shavasana here. And I'll probably topple over my blocks as I hear them fall. And then find your comfortable position in Shavasana or another option, whatever works best for you. So your legs could be straightened out, or you can have your feet flat on the mat here in a more constructive rest. Whatever feels comfortable for you as you end today's practice. And before I go quiet, I just want to thank you for joining me today in the practice. I appreciate flowing with you all. And in your Shavasana, imagine that you are just melting and becoming one with the mat. Now, if you have more time to lay in Shavasana, I will always encourage you to. However, if you are coming out with me and the rest of us today, begin to open your eyes if they have been closed, wiggling your fingers and toes, bringing your body and self back to awareness, to your surroundings and your practice. And then rolling over to the right or left side of your body, whichever feels best for you. In a nice fetal position here. Then using your arms to push you up. Thank you for flowing with me. I appreciate you, and come back to this practice when you'd like to build strength in your lower body and create space for your hips and your side body. Until next time, bye.